I tried so
I fuck with these hoes from a distance. The instant they start to catch feelings, I start to... What is it you want from a... I gave you, you gave me. I praise you, you praise me.
and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I have been here. To lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Up in here, Up in here, Up in here, Up in here,
It doesn't even matter. And you reached as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know. Put my trust in you. Pushed as far as I can go. For all this, there's only one thing you should know.
If you feeling like a pimp, nigga, go on, push your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go on, push your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you get that. Turn up your shoulders, I probably owe it to y'all. Probably be locked like folks, trying to hustle some things. That go with the push, feeling no remorse, feeling like my hand was forced. Middle finger to the law, nigga, gripping my ball. Certain ladies, they love me, from the bleachers, they screaming. All the ballers is bouncing, they like the way I be leaning. All the ballers is bouncing, they like the way I be leaning. If you bleed, feeling like a pimp, nigga, go on, brush your shoulders off. Ladies is pimps too, go on, brush your shoulders off. Niggas is crazy, baby, don't forget that boy told you get that.
Lean back, Don't dance, just pull up your pants and do the rock away. Lean back, lean back. Come on, don't dance, just pull up your pants and do the rock away. Lean back.
That my best friend. She a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back in. My best friend. She a real bad bitch, got her own car. She don't need no lift in a strip club. No, my girl gon' tip, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back in. Is that my bestie in a taxi? Fresh blowout, skin on town, she pretty. Bitch, you look good with a T at the end. I'm a hyper every time, now my motherfucking friend. She been on with a T like, bitch, guess what? All the rich ass boys wanna fuck. His ass sitting up, could look, no touch. And I'm bad, bustin' bands every time we link up. That my best friend. She a real bad bitch, got her own money. She don't need no nigga on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back.
Call me when you need.
Sicker than your average, sicker than your average.
Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me in the morning. I'll be on the way.
Sicker than your average, sicker than your average.
Call me when you need. Call me in the morning. I'll be on the way. Call me when you want. Call me when you need. Call me out by your name. I'll be on the way. I'll be on leaving out the time.
Touch it,
You're cute enough to fuck with me tonight.
bring
The
it,
table all I see is sweet and white.
turn it.
You living the life, but nigga, you ain't living right. Cocaine and drinking with your friends. You live in the dark, boy, I cannot pretend. I'm not faced, only you to sin. If you've been in your garden, you know that you can. Call me when you want, call me when you need. Call me in the morning, I'll be on the way. Call me when you want, call me when you need. Call me out by your name, I'll be on the way. Like,
This my shit.
call me in the morning, I'll be on the way.
This my shit.
Call me out by your name, I'll be on the way. Like,
Good times have been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. 'Cause it ain't no holler back, girl. Ain't no holler back, girl. Good times have been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. 'Cause it ain't no holler back, girl.
baby, you living the life, but nigga, you ain't living right.
Baby, I like your style.
Grips on your ways, front way, back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I never run away, even when I'm away. OT, OT, there's never much love when we go OT. I pray to make it back in one piece. I pray. That's why I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me. I need a one dance. Got a Hennessy in my hand. One more time before I go. Higher powers taking a hold on me.
Bring it, babe, touch it.
One more time before I go.
Bring it, babe, touch it. I like your stuff. Bring it, babe, touch it.
One more time before I go.
Bring it, babe. I like your stuff. Baby.
Can you take me higher? Can we get much higher? To a place where mind and see.
My heart is in Havana. He took me back to East Atlanta. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Havana.
Just what you waiting for, so fresh out East Atlanta with no mountains. Fresh out East Atlanta. Like traffic jam.
Since he got Milo in him, he got me feeling.
Can we get much higher?
Pulling out the coupe at the lot. On the fuck 12 fuck swat. Buzzing all the bells out the box. I just hit the lick with the box. Had to put the stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn field. I'ma get lazy. I got the mojo deals. We been trapping like the 80s. She said the nigga so. Got the cash out. Told him wipe a nigga no. Say slash. I won't never sell my soul. And I can take that. And I really wanna know where you at. Pulling out the coupe at the lot. On the fuck 12 fuck swat. Pulling out the coupe at the lot. On the fuck 12 fuck swat. Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Coupe at the lot. Coupe at the lot. Coupe at the lot.
Canva is just so easy to use. People always tell us that our
I'm telling you that play with it a little. I'm telling you that play with it a little. Hit that. Play with it a little. I'm telling you that hit that. Play with it a little.
Good morning, traders. Welcome back to the best trading chat room in the world, Alpha Day Trading. So happy to have you guys here. What's up, everybody over on YouTube? Got Angel and PXS, Jake Lakey. Happy to have you here. Chris, Jose, good morning. What's up? I hope you guys had a phenomenal evening and that you guys are all just ready to rock and roll and have an awesome day, team. All right, so it is December 9th, 9:01 in the morning. Wade, that's a bullshit greeting, Angel. Wrong. I can't even. All right, hold on. Let me back up real quick. Hello, kind sir. Good day as well. Top of the morning to you. Is this Calm Thursday? No. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning, traders. What's up and what's going on? Happy Money Thursday, baby. It is December 9th. Yeah, I need more Celsius. Yeah, who's on the mic? Chad? Good morning, baby. Happy Money Thursday. It is December 9th, 9:02 in the morning, and I am 100% fired up, baby. I'm fired up. What an awesome morning in pre-market. What an awesome week. What an awesome month. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. We crushed it yesterday. We've crushed it every day for the month of December, and we are crushing it once again today. We had some traders in chat this morning jumping into ENSC with me. We've had a couple great opportunities here. Nice trades, nice profits, good job, and good work, team. Much better, much better. Rough night. No, I'm just messing with you guys. I even told TikTok, I was like, yo, I'm going to mess with the team real quick. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy to have you here. Nah, man, it's nothing but energy, nothing but motivation, and nothing but dropping those value bombs, baby. So, I hope everybody had an amazing night. I hope you guys are ready to rock and roll on this beautiful Thursday and to kill it and crush it once again in the market. Let's keep this consistency going. Let's keep this momentum going as well, and let's make December your best month yet. All right, team. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We have quite a bit to talk about today. We have a really decent watch list. We have about 10 stocks on watch. Before we dive into it, guys, I'm really not focused on options today. Okay? When we come into the market, we identify where the opportunity is. Sometimes the opportunity is really in the options world as penny stocks are choppy. Sometimes penny stocks have the focus and the broader market, large cap stocks, whatever the case is, are more kind of slow and steady, not as much volatility, kind of just sitting sideways. In my opinion, investors and traders are taking a breath, taking a step back, because the markets were, reacting pretty violently to that Omicron variant news. I mean, the SPY did go from 473 down to 448 in just a week. Very, very quick decline in the SPY. And just as the SPY and the markets are falling, a very, very quick, sharp move to the upside in the VIX. So right now, what we can see is after that couple of weeks of uncertainty, some fear in the markets, we're starting to see things settle back down. Right now, it looks like things are just calm. Traders are sitting back, investors are sitting back, taking a breath, trying to collect themselves, and looking to see where the market's headed next. I definitely think yesterday was the start of that kind of sideways movement. Today, I think we see some sideways movement. I don't really think we have an abundance of opportunity in the options world. Now, don't get me wrong. We still need to be watching Apple because Apple is ripping and running. We need to be watching Roku again today and NVIDIA today, and well, as my opinion. But 80 to 90% of my focus is on the penny stock market because that's where the opportunity is today. We have two amazing stocks, two stocks going on some big time moves. And the best thing about these two stocks is they've been consistent. They've been consistent. Nice moves to the upside, nice pullbacks. The technicals are being honored. Things make sense. These are pretty easy stocks to trade over the last couple of hours of me looking at both of these stocks. So, in my opinion, I think the opportunity and I think your focus should be with penny stocks today, as that's where I believe 90% of the market attention is. We have a lot of traders looking at IINN. We have a lot of traders looking at ENSC. Right, these are the top two stocks of the day. I only have a top two list right now. I don't have 3 to 5. I have 2. It's ENSC and IINN. So let's spend the most amount of time dissecting both of these stocks, IINN, ENSC, and then we'll dive into our back burner watch list. Then we'll talk about these few option stocks that we have and what we could see today with those. So, IINN, signing a strategic agreement. So that's really what we need to take from this, is they've signed a strategic agreement. And if I'm not mistaken, there was another company as well this morning that had a very similar press release. I will come back to that when I find it. So IINN, signing a strategic agreement. That is a good keyword to look for in a press release, especially when it comes to penny stocks. And that's exactly why IINN is up nearly 100% here in pre-market. It is trading really good volume, almost 20 million shares. On average, it trades 4.5, and it's a low float stock. Look at how clean, look at how consistent this stock is. A very clean, solid uptrend. I like this. It looks like it's holding the technicals. It's respecting the technicals. Everything seems to be honored. It seems to be very, very easy to trade this stock. Just like it was pretty easy to get involved this morning on ENSC, like almost to the penny, little to no heat, nice clean move to the upside, nice solid profits to start our day. So IINN is one of the top 2 stocks we're watching. All right, we have good news. We have a low float stock. We have high relative volume. This stock is now up 113%, and it's showing a lot of potential to the upside. Your next main target on IINN is going to be up between 6 and 647. All right, one of your main targets is going to be that 647. Support right now is $5. $5 natural support. $5 lines up with prior resistance on the daily chart as well. So new daily support, now that we're above 5, plus it's just psychological support as well. $5 being the second strongest level of support and resistance for penny stocks. Once again, we have room up towards around that 647. Now let's take this into a 4-hour chart and see if we can get an idea of any other levels that we need to be mindful of. So we need to go back and look at late October. So let's put this into a 1-hour chart real quick. We might have to go back more than 20 days on this to be able to see those levels. Yep, we're gonna have to take this back open to 90 days. There we go. We're just really trying to identify the best of the best levels where we could see this stock go. So we know we have that 647. I could see it pushing up towards around those spiking highs around 790. And then over 790, I'm saying 875. Then those highs at 959 to $10 on IINN. So these are all of your targets to the upside. Let's say the stock pulls back to 5. You take an entry. The stock rips to 647. What do? Take some profit. Stock breaks and rips up to 790. What do? Take some profit. It goes to 875. What do? You take some profit, right? These are overhead levels of resistance. These are profit-taking levels because the stock could push up and get rejected very hard off that level and start fading and falling. We want to be prepared to lock in profits at all of these upper levels of prior resistance. That could be new resistance once again today. So again, these are all of your levels to the upside. You could see the stock get as high as $9.59, potentially $10 today on IINN. And right now we have support back down towards around that $5 mark. Right? If we lose $5 on IINN, you're going to pull back towards around this 440 mark. Anything below 440 on IINN, you're going to pull back towards around that 387. Anything below 387, you're looking to come back down towards around 331. Really start cracking 440 and 387. I mean, that's really low. This stock would pretty much be done for the day, but right now it's very consistent. There's a lot of momentum here. There's a lot of focus. There's a lot of activity. It's clean. Overall, I have nothing negative to say about IINN. It's a very clean, consistent stock, and I think we have a lot of opportunity today here with IINN. All right, ENSC is another stock that I think has a lot of great opportunity. This stock actually just failed to break the downtrend off of the uptrend. We're losing VWAP. We're dropping back below $5. Right now, it just didn't break out. This is the first time in the last 2 hours that we've seen ENSC not actually make a move based on the technicals, right? We had an initial move here this morning. Nice rip. We had our nice pullback. We took this trade, another nice pullback. We took that trade for a quick scalp. Overall, it was a very clean, consistent stock. Right now, we're just simply cracking the uptrend. And right now, the reason why we're seeing it pull back pretty sharply is because a lot of traders, when they trade the uptrend, they put stops underneath the trend line. So now that we see the stock cracking the uptrend, a lot of traders are simply stopping out of this trade. We do have support off that prior high right around 492, and we could see a very strong bounce right there at 492, back above $5. So overall, ENSC still looks good. It still looks like buyers are in control. But you're like, Josh, but the stock just went from 550 all the way down to 494. That was a big pullback. What do you mean buyers are in control? Look at that bounce right there. Look at that very strong bounce from 490 right back up, and that was green for a moment to 525. That's telling me that, yes, there's profit taking. Yes, longs were getting stopped out below the trend line, right? It's just a psychological thing, but you have so many buyers here ready to buy the dip, ready to get back in off that prior level of resistance, new support. Look at that very strong bounce on ENSC. I like that. That tells me that there's still a good amount of buyers here, that buyers are still in control, and we could still see ENSC move a lot higher. $4.92 to $5 support right now on ENSC. I'm simply looking for a break of the downtrend. That's it. Simple, textbook, clean and easy, break of the downtrend. Where could we see ENSC go? Let's go ahead and take this into a 1-minute chart. And we know that you can see it up towards around 587. We had a little bit of resistance. A lot of resistance. Nice big sell-off. Back up towards the high of day, 645. Anything over $6.45, your next target on ENSC is going to be up towards around 724. Then anything over 724 up towards around 790. Now, where am I getting that 724 level from? Simply getting it from that spiking high, right? That big spiking high, that extreme in price, that extreme point, that's where I'm getting that level from, right? Pretty easy. Where am I getting the 790 level from? The 200-day moving average. We know that the 200-day moving average is one of the strongest moving averages that traders utilize as support and resistance, okay? So, that being said, we would have some room up to that top target of 790. So once again, ENSC has great support at 492. This is a very strong bounce. I think we see momentum and buyers continue through this bounce, break through the downtrend, and then here shortly, I believe we see 587, retest the high of day at 645, and then once we break, if we break the high of day at 645, we have room to 724 and 729. Again, if I had it my way, just like yesterday, if I had it my way, I would only watch ENSC today and IINN, right? I would not really be looking at any other stock. I would have 2 stocks on my watch list. I would get to know these stocks, get familiar with these stocks. How do they move? Are they consistent? What type of price action are we seeing? Really get to know the stock to build a good plan around it. And once those stocks faded and fall, I would look to see where the next hot stock was at, right? Looking at our breakout scanner and the high of the day momentum scanner. I would simply focus on these 2 stocks to learn them. I would trade them on the best opportunities. I'm sure we can make some decent cash on just these 2 stocks and hit our daily goal and walk away, right? That's what I would do. But I know we have a lot of traders in here that may be in some of these other trades, may be looking at entering another prior day mover, another stock that may have potential. Maybe we want some back burners on the day. But if I had it my way, I would say screw the back burners. Let's focus on the top 2 stocks. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the back burners briefly, right? I don't want to hype them up too much. I don't want to be too energetic behind these stocks, making you guys think like, wow. And the tone of his voice, he really loves this stock, right? He loves it. I'm going to buy it right now. I tell you what, they're on the back burner for a reason, right? They're on the back burner because I'm not too crazy about them right now. But they could come off the back burner and we could be eaten with some of these here in a little bit, all right? So ISPC above 1450 today, guys. Yesterday's spiking high was 1450. I would think that we could open, maybe sell off, pull back to 1450, bounce, hold a support. Then we would see a nice little pop up towards around that post-market high, right around 17 bucks, 17 to 17.13. So I would like to see an open. I'd like to see some profit taking. I would like to see the stock pull back and retest yesterday's high. At the lowest, yesterday's close of 14.15. So we have a 14.15 to 14.50 window of support. I would like to see that support level tested. I would like to see some good price action, some good volume at or near that level, suggesting we do have some buyers here for a potential rebreak of 15. we would have some room up towards around $17.13 here on ISPC. I do want to watch CPIX as well. Watching CPIX off this multi-day trend line. All right, we got to actually open this up into a larger time frame so you can see this trend line. That is not the right trend line. Have you guys noticed TD Ameritrade last couple of days? Their charting is kind of not adding up. This is just me. I've noticed that TD's charts aren't making sense, and sometimes my levels will get adjusted. Like, it'll just adjust, and that's not a level I set. Weird. So I'm watching CPIX above this multi-week trend line. We see here we bounced on Monday. Nice big rip. We pulled back yesterday, bounced, and we came back this morning in pre-market, and we bounced again. This is a very, very nice momentum trade. This is all momentum. CPIX looks phenomenal. We were looking at CPIX yesterday for a mid-candle breakout. It never broke out. But sometimes we see that third day actually be the candle that breaks out. So the daily chart's still intact. When we look at the 1 hour chart, it looks absolutely beautiful. This is one of those ABCD setups, right? Everybody has their own unique way of what they think an ABCD is, but I've learned from some of the best traders in the world. This is how I was educated on an ABCD pattern, right? Number one, normally higher time frames, right? 1 minute, you get a lot of false moves with the whole ABCD pattern. But what it is you have an impulse. So you have A, right? B, C, and D. So I was always taught that this is your A, right? That's your B, you have your C, and then your D is your next parabolic leg up. So it's push, pull back with a bounce, right? Put in that higher low. That's C, and then you start to see some momentum move in, breaking over that high. So it'd be looking for a break over that high for a retest of Monday's high at 765. But this type of setup, 80% of the time, guys, right? 80% of the time, we see that stock break over that level of resistance and move even higher. So that's what I'm looking at here today on CPIX, right? This is my favorite back burner stock. I really like this big push, came down and double bottomed, hit that trend line, right? We popped up a little bit, pulling back, setting that higher low right above the trend line as well. I'll definitely be looking to make some entries at a break here off the higher high with a target of 765, and we'd be looking for the stock to break out and move even higher to the upside. So I do like CPIX a lot, guys. I think this is my favorite back burner sleeper play. I'm not saying it's going to hit 765 today, but I'm saying this is a really nice looking swing trade. I really do. Right? I think this is something I can get in today with the expectations of hitting that target today. But if I don't hit that target, depending on how we close, I could see myself holding this as far as maybe a multi-day swing trade on CPIX. So again, we have room to that 755, anything over $7.55, guys. Looking to run up towards around $8 here on CPIX. That is your main level of resistance, is $8. Anything over $8, you would have room to $8.75 here on CPIX. And again, looking at the daily, you can't really see a lot, right? The daily chart, you're like, eh. But when you look at that 4 hour chart, that 1 hour chart, this thing is absolutely beautiful. I think this thing is so underrated. I think CPIX has so much potential today. So here's what I'm going to do. One of the top 3 stocks I think we should be watching. I think this is a sleeper play. I think this is going to be a stock that just kind of creeps by everybody and just kind of just goes by everybody's radar. Like, it just, no one catches it. No one catches on in the beginning, in my opinion. I think it's just one of those sleeper plays that could get a lot of action, and a lot of traders miss the initial move. CPIX, I'm going to say one of the top 3 stocks. It's still not ready. It's still not confirmed. Anything could happen. We don't have the volume, but what I'm seeing right now, we just need one more piece to the puzzle, and that piece to the puzzle is volume. Once we see some volume start to move in here, I think we have a lot of great opportunity back up to 765. All right, so IINN, ENSC, most definitely the top 2, but I do think CPIX looks really decent. I think there's a lot of great potential. It's a little underrated right now. Not a lot of people are looking at it, but I think once it starts moving, traders start catching on, it could be a big time mover once again, guys. All right, so CPIX, we are going to make that our number 3, right? One of the top 3 stocks to watch. Again, we just talked about ISPC. That is definitely a back burner stock. We have CFVI today. So we're looking for CFVI to break over 1550. A break over 1550 on CFVI, this stock technically, your next main level of resistance is $20. You would want to play it every dollar, right? Every whole dollar. So 16, 17, 18, 19, but then 20 is going to be your next main level of resistance. I'm simply looking for a break over 1548. A break and hold over 1548, the sky's the limit. This stock still has a lot of attention. There's a lot of traders circulating this, right? The acquisition with Rumble in regards to, Trump, yada, 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 right? There's still a lot of talk with CFVI. There's still a lot of interest with CFVI. And I think once this puts in a new all-time high over 1550, I think that's when we're going to see the next wave of hype move back into CFVI. And your next main target is $20. All right. So CFVI, definitely a watch list worthy stock that we should be watching today, team. All right. We do want to watch ISIG again as well. I don't think ISIG is really going to do that much today, but I want to see how it looks today, how it trades today, and come back and look at this one tomorrow. We've seen a lot of these mid-candle breakouts that break out, form another mid-candle, and break out the very next day. So we have a boom, big green day right on Monday. Tuesday, we have a nice little red day, signaling our mid-candle. We take the mid-candle trade yesterday. You guys were absolutely crushing it on ISIG. And right now we're slightly gapping down. I would like to see ISIG today hold above Monday's high. Right? If we can level off and just kind of trade between $16 and $17 today, just kind of sit sideways, I'd like to see how we open up tomorrow and see if we have more potential for another mid-candle breakout to end our week tomorrow. So ISIG, it's not something I want to focus too much on today for day trading. It could rip, it could move, it could be an opportunity, but I just want to kind of keep it on the back burner, observe it, watch it, see what it looks like throughout the day, how it's moving, how it's closing, and it could be another great candidate for a possible mid-candle breakout come tomorrow. Still way too early to tell, but it's a good candidate. DWAC. The DWAC. Wacky tobacco. DWAC. DWAC. Another back burner stock. We're simply looking for the stock to break over yesterday's high, which was right around 66.11. So right around $66.11 here on DWAC was yesterday's spiking high. Anything over that 66.11, you do have room to 69.49. All right. I mean, doesn't seem like a big window of opportunity, but it's a good, decent window. It's about a $4 window to the upside here on DWAC. So I do want to keep DWAC on high watch today for another continuation. Support right now, we are trying to hold above that little bit of that resistance from yesterday, right? We can see resistance. We tried breaking above, we failed. Resistance, we broke above, we held it, we squeezed. We have bounced here a couple times this morning in pre-market right around this 61.50. So right now, support is 61.50. Ideally, getting that break over 66.11. That's when we could see that big time move up towards around 69.41. If we do crack below 61.50, your next best level of support is going to be back down at $56.87 here on DWAC. Another back burner stock that has great potential. But again, out of the gate, I believe it's ENSC and IINN. Right out of the gate, guys. These stocks look really good. Honestly, right now, the number one stock that I'm watching out of the gate is ENSC. The number two stock, IINN, and we are watching CPIX as our number 3. One thing that we should do real quick is run our trend line here on IINN. Let's go ahead and grab our trend line. Let's connect our low. Let's run it up. We see we have a nice valid trend line. As long as we stay above the trend line, we're bullish. Above the trend line is bullish. Below the trend line is bearish. The second you see this trend line crack, watch for a big time dump as longs have their stops underneath this trend line. As long as we're above the trend line, we are good to go to the upside. I think that's a number 2 stock to watch. I do think ENSC has more potential right out of the gate to at least get back up to those pre-market highs of 645. All right. I'm also watching EVGO for a break over, what was my level again? A clean break over 14. That was my level. With clean break over $14. Okay. Right now, we do have support back down towards around this 1255 level. A little bit of resistance and support in the past. But the big thing is it's that 20 EMA. Ideally, getting that break over 14 bucks, we could see a nice little pop here today on EVGO, up towards maybe around like 14.66 and then $15. I'm not too crazy about it. I just like this little double bottom on the daily. I like the gap up above the 20 EMA. It looks pretty strong. And they had an article, right? They had an article today, and then we got an overweight with a $20 price target from JP Morgan. And there was a little bit of an article this morning on EVGO. They surpassed 1 million app downloads since the start of 2021, the most in the app's history as EV adoption continues to increase across the globe. So you paired that article with this really nice bounce on the daily chart. This is primed for a nice little move higher. Again, 1466, and then $15 on EVGO is definitely a possibility. So I do want to watch EVGO as another back burner play. And I do want to watch AVCT. I'm not like really crazy about AVCT, but there was some news, right? Said late Wednesday, it expects, man, I can't even talk today. It expects its cloud communications platform Candy generate revenue of $18.8 million in 2021. That would be up from $14.3 million prior year. So AVCT has good news. It is also a low float stock trading very high relative volume. Why is it on the back burner and not up there with IINN and ENSC? Simply the technicals, guys, right? It has high relative volume. It's a low float stock. It has news. Pretty good news. Why am I not putting it up there with the top 3? Well, look at the chart. Is this a good looking chart to you guys? Does this look appealing? Do you want to buy this right now? No. Look at ENSC. Oh yeah, that's appealing. Look at IINN. Oh yeah, that's appealing. And even CPIX on that 4-hour chart, that 1-hour chart. Oh yeah, that looks appealing, right? It all comes back down to your technical analysis. It all comes back down to doing your DD. You can have 10 stocks that meet your criteria, be added to the watch list. They could have phenomenal news, low float, phenomenal volume. But when you look at the charts, you may only be able to pick 2 or 3 stocks that have good looking charts, that look like they have consistency, that look like they have the focus from traders in the market. So that's why we're adding AVCT to the back burner. And that's why we have a lot of back burner stocks, a lot of stocks showing potential, stocks with news, stocks with momentum, prior day movers, stocks that show potential today. But what stocks do we think have the best potential out of the gate at 9:30 when the bell rings? From my experience, from me doing that due diligence and dissecting these stocks, I've chosen IINN, ENSC, and then I do like CPIX. All right, so those are the stocks we are watching. We're watching Roku today. Roku has room to 263. We're watching NVIDIA for a break of this downtrend around 319. We're still going to be watching the SPY and the Qs, but right now, 80 to 90% of the focus is with penny stocks. That's where our focus is as well. Let's get fired up, team. Let's have an awesome day. The market is now open. Let's wait for the best opportunities. Let's make the best trades, and let's make some big-time profits, guys. Again, IINN, 647 is that target on IINN. 647 is your next level of resistance on IINN. I really want to see ENSC breaking this downtrend, team. ENSC breaking this downtrend. There's a lot of big potential here on ENSC. So we're watching IINN above this trend line. If you come down and test this trend line, you could see a nice big time bounce. ENSC. Have that $4.90 to $5 support. I'm looking for a break of this downtrend. That's when we're going to see volume really start to move into ENSC, potentially pushing this back to 587 and then 645. I personally want to maybe get involved with IINN if we come back down to this trend line. Right now, I am not touching IINN. I'd only get involved if we come down and tag this trend line. So I would say an entry right around 575. 575 would be the trend line. Be some resistance and support, and it's a whole number, 575. We could easily put stops below 550. We'd be looking for about a 75-cent move to the upside. That's about a 3-to-1 setup on IINN. If it comes down and hits that spot to the penny, you're risking 25 cents to potentially make 75. It's a stock that's in a solid uptrend, so you're trading with the trend. It's a low flow stock. It has really, really good news. I mean, overall, it's not a bad little opportunity here on IINN. Not at all. So I would say 575. We hold the trend line. 575 would be an ideal entry. Stops below 550 with a 650 target. So I just got a partial fill on IINN. I had some low stink bids in the low 570s. I got a 576 fill there on IINN as a starter. If I get stopped out on 250 shares, I'm risking like 70 bucks. 70 bucks. Don't forget about ENSC. All right. Don't forget about ENSC team. ENSC above $5. Look for the red to green move. Look for the red to green move. ENSC right now, potential red to green move team. Potential red to green move on ENSC. That's also a break of the downtrend. ENSC doesn't look bad at all. Watch for this thing to start getting some volume towards it. But right now, I want to see IINN bounce off this trend line and bounce off this 575 back over $6. ENSC, though, looks like a very nice red to green move with a simple downtrend break strategy. This one looks really good coming on up. Let's see if we can get that nice 75-cent bounce here on IINN team. IINN, we have that 640 target, 650 target. Right now, we got about, I don't know. Now we're back down the break even now. I was like, hey, we're up 25 cents a share. Not bad. Not bad on the bounce. Is ISIG halted? Nice. All right, let's get that bounce off 575. Let's see if we can do it. Nice little bounce off the trend line. Couple separate reasons to get involved. A nice, healthy, decreasing volume pullback at this point in time. Good risk reward, good plan, solid plan, trading with the trend off good news and good volume and a low float. I mean, overall, I think it's worth the risk when you add all that into consideration. There was a false breakout there over on ENSC. Ooh, first rug pull of the day, guys. First rug pull of the day. That was a fake out red to green move. That was a little bit of a fake out red to green move there over on ENSC. That's unfortunate. That was a good setup. It tried to break, but that was a nasty rug pull. If we start cracking this trend line, guys, on IINN, you need to get out of this trade so you're not holding into a rug pull. You start closing below this trend line, you need to exit the trade. The last thing you want to do is get caught up in any kind of rug pull. We're still losing volume as we're pulling back. Here on IINN, still a nice little decreasing volume pullback here on IINN. Not a fan of trading right out of the gate, so I'm keeping my stop relatively tight here. And if we don't start to see this bounce back over 6 here momentarily, we're taking some risk with a crack below 550. So got to see traders move in. We got to see buyers move in off this decent level of support. It's a pretty good level of support. Nice, healthy pullback. It's just not getting that bounce from buyers. See if we can get that bounce. I'm still in on IINN. 1,000 shares at 573. I have a cost basis of 573. 1,000 shares on IINN. It's just not getting that big time bounce. Now it's getting that big time bounce. There it is. Stops now are underneath low a day. Stops are under low a day. Stops are going to be at 560 on IINN. Stops are underneath low a day. on IINN. I'm taking half at 6 to be smart. I'm going to take half at $6. Last thing you want to do is see a move and then see a big rug pull like you saw on ENSC. So I'm locking in profit quick. I'm out. I would get out because it's not getting that big time break, that big time move. The last thing you want to do is get caught up in any kind of nasty rug pull. $186 to start the day. Not the big move I wanted, not that big explosive move. And I don't fear. I'm not fearful. I'm just cautious, right? I'm concerned that we could see a big nasty rug pull, right? We saw a nice big false move on ENSC followed by a rug pull. This is another very, very low float stock that could have easily been a false move followed by a nasty rug pull. The last thing I want to do is be in a green trade and get stuck in some kind of nasty rug pull to the downside. So I went ahead and locked up a quick 30 cents a share there. So you got DWAC bouncing a little bit. ISIG is halted right now, like you guys said. ISIG is halted. CFDI, a little bit of a red day here. CPIX was my other one, guys. CPIX, right? CPIX was that one that I really, really liked. And I think CPIX has a lot of great potential today, especially when we look at that 1 hour chart here on CPIX. I think this one has a lot of great potential back up to 750 and 760. Once again, here on CPIX. So I'm going to attempt a new approach. We're going to scale in, scale out on something like CPIX. So I just took a starter position on CPIX. I like the larger time frame setup. This is something that could take a good majority of the day to play out. So I'm going to apply a scale in, scale out approach. I just took a starter position here on CPIX with about 250 shares. And this is why we take those profits when we have them. The last thing you want to do is be in the green, not locking your profits, and take a green trade to a losing trade, especially when it's not making that explosive move that you want to see. Right? We'd expect to see the bounce off the trend line and that big time rip back over 6, breaking over that high into the 650s. That did not take place. We locked in profits fairly quick there over on IINN. And ENSC is still in play, right? We're just looking for a clean, solid break above this downtrend, and we want to see this hold above $5. Need to see this hold above 5. At the lowest, 490. So as long as we stay above 490, we break this downtrend. If you guys are long, you have room back to 587. You do have room back towards around 587 there on ENSC. Then IINN, next level of support for a possible bounce play, guys, is going to be $5.28. ISIG looking like it's going to be a 10-minute halt. So ISIG was halted at 9:33. So 9:43:12. You got about 3 more minutes to go until ISIG is live. I still see some decent potential with ENSC team. ENSC, I still see some pretty good potential with ENSC. But I'm currently long on CPIX. I do have my slow and steady position on CPIX. It's a scale in, scale out approach. I'm looking to take this up towards around the high from Monday at 755. That would be one of my my main targets there on CPIX. So right now, that's the only open position that I have is CPIX at this time. So you guys are talking about pair inside of chat, PEAR. Alt, strategy played, cracked right back down below. It's definitely on watch, but right back below that halt level, not looking strong, looking a little weak. You're looking at 943, 943.12. 943.12 on ISIG. The stock has room back to 20. It's going to rip again today. It has room back up to obviously $20. You're looking at 21.32. Back up towards around 22.49. And then back up towards around $24 there on ISIG. We pretty much nailed DWAC. Gap down, falling back towards around that 56.87. We were talking about DWAC yesterday that I just thought it was going to gap down and then pull back into that 56 level before possibly making a move. So right now we hitting that on the head. PPSI was one that I don't remember what happened with PPSI. Did that one do anything overnight, or did that one gap down a little bit? It did gap down a little bit. PPSI, but PPSI still has room back up to 12. I'd be looking for a nice strong break over 12 and 12.44 on PPSI for a nice big explosive move to the upside. I still do like PPSI as well. There's a lot of stocks moving right now, guys. You got PEAR halted to the downside. You got AVCT really getting hit hard here, selling on off. Got EVGO coming off the watch list, guys. Again, watch ISPC above 1450. 1450 was a nice bounce level off of yesterday's high. So let's do this. Let's remove the downtrend or the uptrend here on IINN. Let's go ahead and run a downtrend, and let's see if we have any kind of downtrend break setup coming on up here on IINN. So here coming on up, we could see a beautiful, what do we call it? Boom, boom, bang, baby. Nice little boom, boom, bang approach here on IINN. Want to see it push up towards around 575. That's the downtrend. Get rejected. Nice pullback. Nice higher low or a double bottom off support. Support being $5.29 as well as the VWAP. We could see a nice clean break of this downtrend for the pop back up towards around 6 and then 624 here on IINN. So I am watching IINN coming on up for an entry, guys. Yeah, focus on your one trade. If you guys got in for the break of the downtrend on ENSC, definitely manage that trade on ENSC. This one still has a lot of great potential back up towards around that 645. But IINN is definitely getting there for a possible setup. It's not looking bad whatsoever. Not looking bad at all, guys. So right now, the only upcoming trade that I have is IINN. Stops would have to be below 530. So stops would have to be below that low and the VWAP and prior resistance. So if I make an entry for the break of the downtrend, we're looking for a 6 and then 620 target. Stops would be right below 530 here on IINN. So still managing CPIX little by little. Like I said, it may not take place today, but I do think this has a lot of great longer-term potential over the next maybe few days on CPIX. Right now, we're looking for that higher low or double bottom to set in here on IINN. Looking for a nice break of that downtrend over 570 as well. That's when we'll see the next big pop of volume move in. Most likely driving this price back up to 6 and then that 624 level. Right now, this is the number one stock to watch. Number 2, ENSC. ENSC already made a pretty nice move. Starting to pull back here a little bit. It hit that 587 resistance. Right now, the next best opportunity, in my opinion, is going to be here on IINN if we get this textbook setup for the downtrend break. Right now, I would say the next best opportunity is going to be right here on IINN. Again, double bottom or a higher low. Seeing the nice little breakthrough the downtrend here. Stops would have to be under like 530 or 525 at the lowest. I'm long. I got a fill on IINN. Let's get that big time break, baby. Let's get that big time break. There we go. Keep pushing on up. Do not struggle here. Let's go 570, 575. Got a 550 entry here. We do not want to see it dropping back down towards the low of this candle. If we see it dropping back down to the low range of this candle, you need to get out because it's probably going to flush. It's probably going to dump. So if this one comes back down below, I would say 550, you need to be getting out. Right now, we want to see this continue to pop up to $6 target. There's 585. Let's go ahead and lock in half, guys. Let's go ahead and not be greedy. Let's lock in half here on IINN. Locking in half my position there. Running the rest up to 6 and then 620 and possibly above 620. Up to that 640. Stops are now hard at break even, guys. Running a risk-free trade here on IINN. Right now, it's risk-free. Ooh, see, that's not, you want to see that. I'm out. I'm out. That's why we take profits and bring stops to break even. Because you see nasty stuff like this in penny stock land. So we make our entry, 550. Get a nice 30, 35 cent pop to the upside. We lock in half our profit. We bring stops to break even. Unfortunately, we get stopped out at break even, but we still pull money from the market, right? We took half, made $200. We didn't lock in at all, but we still made $200 on that trade. Unfortunately, it pulled back. I mean, that's what we see in the penny stock market, though. That's why you have to be quick to lock in profits. Make sure those stop losses are getting brought to break even. Look at how quick you were in the green and how quick you would have been back down in the red. Right? That happened within 2 minutes. You're in the green, 30, 40 cents, and then boom, you're back down into the red on the trade. Always be locking in your profits. That was a good trade. It just didn't get that big time pop, but it was still a great profitable trade, guys. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it is 9:49 in the markets. I love you all over on YouTube. I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you're making some profit, but most importantly, you got to be managing those trades. You got to be making sure that you're not taking big losses, right? I know losses are inevitable in the market, but always put yourself in a position to lock in profit, right? We crushed it on ENSC. Great risk to reward, great trade. We came in and we crushed it here on IINN 2 times. Off the trend line, locking in profits. Right here again for the break of the downtrend, making our entries right at the perfect time, catching that quick 30, 40 cent move to the upside, locking in profits. Always put yourself in a position to lock in profits, especially with the market that we're in. And the market, the conditions, have a lot of rug pulls, right? So just always put yourself in position to lock in profits, right? Half your position, the other half of your position, you bring your stop to break even. If you unfortunately get stopped out, you're still profitable. But if the stock rips and runs and goes parabolic and it goes bananas, you still have something on the table to continue locking in those profits. All right, guys. So enjoy the rest of your day, team, over on YouTube. Happy and safe trading. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning, right around 9 o'clock as we kick off our Friday trading, baby. So right now we're looking for IINN, pull back and hold above $5 ideally, holding above $5. ISIG is just going bananas again. I mean, you went live, and the halt strategy was absolutely textbook. The gap up, the washout back down towards that halt level. Did anybody get filled? I know Cole really enjoys those halt strategies, so I'm curious. Did anybody set those limits while the stock was halted? Did anybody get a fill on the lower shadow? Because if so, I mean, congrats. Good job on ISIG, guys. If you got that fill, congratulations.